Hello, everyone. My name is Farouk Abbas, and today I want to answer a question in employment law. Can your employer withhold your salary for failing to meet your KPI? The answer to the question is no. Usually, contracts of employment always have a clause stating how much your salary will be. And in some contracts, there are usually some variables in your emolument that are usually subjected to your performance. So, for example, your contract of employment can say your salary shall be X amount. However, if you meet certain KPIs, you'll be paid an additional sum either monthly or at the end of the year. So, if you fail to meet your KPI, your basic salary cannot be withheld by your employer. But if some other allowances or emoluments you're entitled to have been made subject to your performance or meeting certain KPI scores, then in that case, those allowances or payments can be withheld. There's a recent decision of the courts where an employer withheld an employee's salary for 5 months on the ground that the employee failed to meet their KPI and because the company was in bad times. They claim that because the employee failed to meet their KPI, that affected the fortunes of the company and they were not making money. And based on this fact, they withheld the salary for about 5.5 months. And when the employee went to court, the court was very clear. The court held that the employer lacks the power to withhold the salary of the employee based on non-performance of their KPI. However, the court made a comment in that judgment saying that having reviewed the contract of employment, there was no basis for the employer to have withheld the salary. So, although basic salary is meant to be certain once you have worked, the comment of the judge seems to suggest that if the contract of employment had made the payment of salary predicated upon performance, perhaps the decision of the court would be different. But thankfully, the court made a general position or a general statement that payment of salary is compulsory, is a right that an employee who has worked is entitled to. So if you have a situation where an employer seeks to withhold salary based on failure of the employee to meet their KPI, that will be totally unacceptable and unlawful. However, you must note that employers have the right to exercise various forms of disciplinary measures. So if you have not met your KPI regularly, that might be a basis for lawful termination of your employment, but it's not a basis for withholding your salary. Thank you very much.